We move on now to look at another conflict, that's the Russia-Ukraine war. And Kellogg, US President Donald Trump's special envoy for Ukraine, has announced plans to visit the country. He has stated that he will arrive in Kyiv on the 14th of July, and the visit will last a week. Kellogg previously visited Kyiv in February, a month after the inauguration of US President Donald Trump. The announcement comes amid speculations that Trump plans to use presidential authority to greenlight a new military aid package for Ukraine. This would mark the first time that Trump has taken this step since taking office, as the Trump administration so far only permitted the continued flow of arms approved by former President Joe Biden. Only a week earlier, Kyiv and its European partners were alarmed by an unexpected decision by the Pentagon to pause some Ukraine-bound weapons shipments, including Patriot air defence missiles and precision munitions, pending a stockpile review. The halt came at a critical moment as Russia has identified aerial strikes across Ukraine, launching a record 741 drones and missiles on July the 9th. Trump said he was unaware of who initiated the pause and has since ordered to resume at least some of the shipments, pledging to provide Ukraine with additional defensive weapons. Well, joining us to discuss this latest development and the wider ramifications of US support in Ukraine amid continued military action on the battlefields and in the air, Dr. Satoru Nagao, a foreign affairs expert, joining us from Tokyo, Japan. Dr. Nagao, as always, thank you so much for joining us. Let's first look at this visit of Kellogg, the envoy to Ukraine from the US. What's the significance of the timing of this visit that's going to last a full week? Does this signal a potential shift back to more support for Ukraine from the Trump administration?
Yes, this is very important timing. Since the end of May and June and now July, Russia has intensified the military action against Ukraine. So, for example, in June, Russia used 5,000 drones to attack Ukraine. This is a completely different level before May. So that's why the United States side need to decide to change their policy. Originally, the United States, the Trump administration tried to arrange a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. But now it is clear that the Putin side does not have the will to seek the ceasefire just now, because they believed the war is beneficial than peace. So that's why, in this case, this is a turning point for the United States to change their policy from the seeking the ceasefire to the supporting Ukraine by providing the weapon and at the same time imposing the sanction against Russia. So that's why how long can the US wait the Putin response, or how long the Ukraine can wait the support from the United States? These are kind of the things maybe US and Ukraine need to arrange their policies themselves. That's why the US envoy visited Ukraine just now, I think.
Yes, and Dr. Nagao, of course, we've spoken today and in previous days about intensifying Russian strikes. These Patriot missile defense systems, Zelensky says that 10 are needed to protect critical infrastructure within Ukraine. Talk of NATO supports as well. With Western allies looking towards supporting Ukraine, is this a signal that the war might not be anywhere near peace and that it in fact could be going on for much longer with much more intense strikes on the way?
Yes, this is very serious situation, I think. But at the same time, this is a war already it's spent 3 years, and both sides, both Russia side and Ukraine side, cannot move their front line so easily because of their defensive power. So that's why the supporting Ukraine or intensify the military operation of the Russian side cannot change the situation drastically anyway. So that's why this is serious situation, but not too serious to change the course. But at the same time, generally, most of the war spent 4 years. World War I spent 4 years. World War II spent 4 years. Indeed, 4 years is one time. Many wars. Korean War also 4 years. And this is the fourth year, but not the finished 4 years. So in the Russia and Ukraine. So that's why still they have the power and they do not give up their way to seek the goal. So that's why maybe one more year they will fight, and maybe we will see another aspect. That is rough calculations of what will happen in the near future. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Nagao, very briefly before we move on, of course, US relations with Russia have been stronger than they were under the Biden administration, but a shift from Donald Trump. Do you think that that is something we will see moving forward? Of course, Marco Rubio met with Sergei Lavrov, Russian foreign minister, at the ASEAN summit. Could you see tensions raising between those countries and potential US sanctions, something that has been voiced by politicians within the US, and Trump himself has spoken about potentially green-lighting?
Yes, of course, direct negotiation between US and Russia could affect situation, but at the same time, view from the strategic situation, indeed, Russia do not have will to cease war just now. So, and in this case, foreign minister cannot move the situation. State secretary cannot persuade Russia itself, I think. So this is exchanging opinion, and the U.S. will tell the Russia that there's a possibility the U.S. will impose more tougher sanctions against Russia. But at the same time, Russia do not have the reason to seek the ceasefire just now. So Russia tried to buying the time through the negotiation, not cease the war itself, I think.
Yes, Dr. Nagao, you will be staying with us. We, of course, will bring you all of the updates from the ongoing